I'm still here, don't worry, I'm not retiring from YouTube, but as I mentioned in my previous video, I have been and will continue to be rather busy for the next couple of months here, and so my posting has been and will continue to be a little bit sporadic. Nevertheless, you can join me on Instagram and see where I am. So I have been kind of all over the place, and I just recently returned from a wonderful, wonderful, amazing trip to Paris and Ibiza. Or Ibiza, I'm sorry. I know that's how you pronounce it. I do a horrible job of it. And for some reason everyone always wants to correct me when I say Ibiza, and I'm like, I know that's wrong, but no one corrects you when you say Paris. They don't try to be like Paris, you know? So I don't know. Yes, I know there's that lisp, and I'm not doing it on purpose. So, okay. That was a bit of an aside, but I will talk more about this trip probably later, or maybe just post more about it on Instagram. I mean, again, it was wonderful, but that is not the topic of today's video. Today, I wanted to share with you a new bag and kind of do a what's in my bag. And this is not at all a fancy bag. No Chanel's, no Louis Vuittons, nothing new there purchased when I was abroad. But instead, I got something rather common, and that is this guy right here. And so this is just a Longchamp Pliage in the large size, the handbag. In the US, this is called a weekender size, or the weekender bag, and I'll tell you more on why I bought this, but this is going to be the video topic, so keep watching if that's interesting to you. Okay, so I know a lot of you are probably thinking, Joanna, you have that Louis Vuitton monogram eclipse keep all. That seems to be the exact same kind of function as the bag that you just showed us here, the Pliage. And yes, that is true. However, I actually did not bring the Louis Vuitton bag with me to Paris for a few different reasons, one of which is that I knew, you know, this trip was going to be kind of crazy, and I didn't want to bring a nice bag on something where I was kind of going to be a little bit crazy. So that is part of the reason why I didn't bring the Louis Vuitton bag. And so the reason I had to purchase the Pliage is because I only just packed a rather small check-in sized luggage. So it wasn't quite small enough to do a carry-on bag. It was like just a little bit bigger than that. So I had to check that luggage in. And then the only other bag I brought was this for my kind of handheld carry-on luggage, which is quite small. It really fits everything I need though for a carry-on, but my problem was with the with the suitcase that I checked and this little handheld bag that I had with me, I really couldn't fit anything else, and that includes anything that I purchased while abroad. Not that I did like crazy shopping, but you know, it was really, I was like really in desperate straits in terms of what I could fit. And so when I was in Paris, I figured I could buy one of these Longchamp bags because they are really hardy. They're really rather inexpensive, and they're very, very durable and sturdy, and you can just kind of throw them around. And also they're completely like foldable, so you can throw this in any suitcase really easily when it's totally empty. And so actually for all future trips, I think I will be bringing this guy just folded in my suitcase so that if I do decide to do some shopping where I am, I can always rely on this to bring all that stuff back with me. So this was also very, very well priced in Europe. In the US, it's not crazy expensive either. You can buy this exact bag for $135, but in Europe, after adjusting for the currency and the tax rebate, so again, as a foreigner, you can get your VAT, value-added tax, refunded to you. This comes out to be basically $85. So it is quite a significant savings from the retail price in the US. And yeah, it's a great little travel companion. I am very, very pleased with it. I have this in the gunmetal color, I believe that's what this is called. And I'll tell you a little bit about the pros and cons about this bag as well. However, for now, let's just do a what did I bring with me. So basically on my trip home, this was what I had instead of my little duffel bag as my kind of carry-on bag. My duffel bag actually folds relatively small, so I was able to just stuff this into my suitcase pretty easily for the return trip. Alright, so for this one, I don't know if it's because of the color I chose or what, but there's kind of mismatched hardware. So you have the gold on the main button part, but then the zipper is actually this gunmetal color, which, yeah, so you can see that's like this gunmetal. So I don't know if that's just this particular color that I chose or what. I didn't really pay attention to this, but whatever. Zipper works brilliantly, is very easy to use, and then inside, woo! Okay, I can't really show you what's inside like that, but I have quite a bit of stuff. So first I'll just take it out from the little interior pocket here. So this has a little interior pocket, but it's not zipped or anything, so you know, stuff can easily fall out of there, but you know, just be aware of that. So in here I have my phone. I'm very busy. Let's see, any messages? Oh. And then I just had this little lip stuff here, and this is from Emile Cordon. They sent this to me. This is the Rosé Champagne Cashmere on lip pot, and I have to say this is very luxurious, but it's quite expensive, so I don't know if it's worth it over any other lip balm, but it does smell and feel really, really nice. So that's all I have in that little interior pocket. Then you probably have noticed that I had this giant neck pillow. So I flew cattle class, aka economy class, for this trip because it was a personal trip. I'm not about to pay for business class tickets. I'm not that rich. So I flew cattle class, and whenever I do, I definitely need a neck pillow. This is honestly, like, there's no other way I can sleep on a plane. And I always like to have the aisle seat as well, so I definitely need a travel pillow. And so this is from Travel Rest. This is pretty good. You can easily remove the cover on here to wash it, and I do like the fact that it has these little strings and you can tie it to your suitcase. So that was another thing, is because when I had this guy, this was actually like, you know, hanging off the side like that. So it was not very convenient and I kept dropping it, whereas, you know, in this larger size bag, this actually just fits right in. Okay, I have a extra scarf in here for if you do get cold on a plane, always good to have. Then, alright, I do have some toiletries, liquid toiletries. Most of my makeup and skincare I kept in my check-in suitcase, but for the actual flight itself I wanted to have some things handy. And normally I wouldn't go through this whole like Ziploc thing, because in the US, honestly, they're pretty liberal about letting you just go through without taking out everything, especially because I have global entry or, you know, TSA pre-check, so I don't have to take anything out. But in Europe, they are quite draconian about making you put everything in the little Ziploc bag, and they will force you to go back out and like rescan everything if it's not in a little Ziploc bag. So I've already learned my lesson on that. So now I put all my liquids that are coming on board with me in a little Ziploc bag. And so in here I have some new hand lotion. This is probably hard to see, so I'll just take it out. Some Caudalie hand lotion that I purchased while in Paris. I love shopping at the Parisian pharmacies. This is my kind of go-to travel moisturizer. This is the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. Very, very good for airplane, dealing with dry skin, or anytime you're abroad or traveling somewhere that's, you know, outside of your norm. So I always have that as my take-along moisturizer. Then I also purchased some of this LvL Eau Thermale, and this is so ridiculously expensive in the US, but in Paris this is only like €3 for 2 of these or 3 of these or something like that. It was very affordable. I was like, yes, yes, I love this stuff. Like, I wouldn't recommend you pay the US price for this because honestly it's just water, but it feels so refreshing. I really love it, and you know, at that price, when you're in Paris and France and Europe, whatever, I think it's a really good product to have, especially in the travel size. So just spray that on your face on the flight. Then I have some, more hand lotion, the Whole Foods hand lotion. That this one is almost out. Love that hand lotion. I have a couple of masks with me. I do like to be one of those freaks that does a mask on a plane. I didn't do it on my return trip because it was like during the daytime and they never turned off the lights, and that was going to be a little embarrassing, but especially for trips where you're traveling overnight and they turn off the lights, these are great. Then I have just my contact case and my little Sum 37 Rose cleansing stick so that I can, you know, do all that on the airplane pretty easily. I also usually bring, or I always bring, a toothbrush, a little travel toothbrush, but I already threw that out, so that's just something else. Okay, moving along, I got some sunglasses. I have, these are the Privé sunglasses that I've talked about previously in a video. You can go watch that video, I'll link it down below. Oh, here, this is just the global blue, like, duty-free stuff. So I actually have to still mail this in order to get my refund on this purchase and a couple of the other things I bought. Okay. Here I have my little electronics carrier. So I have in here all my chargers, etc. But the only thing I really want to call out in here is, oops, is this guy, and this is one of those external battery packs. So this is from a company called TechSnake, and I like that it's green and it kind of matches my phone case right now. This can give your phone like 2 full charges, I have found, no problem. And I'd like this because it has a little light indicator to show you how, how much is in here, that if you have to recharge it, etc. So I have found that, especially as I'm using my phone more and more as a camera, like having this is totally critical when you are traveling, especially. Then I have my little on-board makeup bag here, and so I don't have a lot in here. I do have, oh yes, I always want to have like a face mask for sleeping in case they don't turn off the lights, for example. A couple of panty liners, always good to have. Oh yeah, so for travel makeup I don't really bring much, but I do think the stuff I have in here is critical. So one is some more chapstick. So I already showed you the Emile Cordon Balm, but then I also purchased a dual pack of this La Roche-Posay chapstick, which I think is really nice. It's very, very creamy. Again, super affordable when you're in France, overpriced when you buy it here. The onboard makeup that I have is this Lancôme Teint Idol, however you pronounce it, broad spectrum sunscreen makeup stick, the Tint Idol Ultra Wear, and I really, really like this. So it's just a little stick, and it's great for, again, for traveling. I don't have to, I just use this to kind of cover up a bit of the red spots and then use my finger to blend it in. Really does a nice job, and it's just in such a convenient form factor. Like, who has the ability to mess with liquid products when you're, 50,000 feet in the air? Okay, then I have the only makeup that I really feel critical for me, other than, just covering up some redness, is dealing with my eyebrows. So I just have here a little Sephora eyebrow pencil, and this is very similar, I guess, to like the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I don't know if Sephora still makes this, honestly, but it's just a very, very thin pencil that I find great to use for that airplane look. And then finally, just some mascara. This is, again, the Estee Lauder Sumptuous. I've talked about this a lot before. And then some earplugs. Always good to have for sleeping, etc. Yeah, oh, and then finally I just have some, so I don't have any sunscreen. Obviously, I'm in a plane, so I don't really need sunscreen. But, for example, if you are leaving the plane and immersed in the sunlight and you don't have sunscreen on, this is a great little product. This is the Color Science powder. So first of all, powder sunscreen is not the best. Like, if you have liquid, you should use that. This is just something that you can use in a pinch, and it also does kind of double duty as a setting powder. So I have, yeah, this Color Science Sun Forgettable, and this is SPF 50. But again, take that with a grain of salt because powder sunscreen is not the same. Alright, then I have in here my camera stuff. So I'm using my camera right now to film, but I have some extra lenses, battery charger, etc. in here. So you can see, like, this is quite a bit of stuff, and while most of it did fit in my little, cow tie-dye duffel, like, having the extra space is nice, and having the ability to buy some more stuff is also nice. What is not shown right now is the stuff that I picked up in duty-free. So I got, for example, a ton of Iberico ham, I got a bottle of gin, so yeah, that stuff also fit in here. Yes, it does get heavy, more on that later, but, again, I just think having this bag is really handy. Then I have a little notebook, and then finally I have my work laptop. I didn't bring my personal laptop on this trip. Oh wait, there's more stuff. Another pair of sunglasses, some Gentle Monster sunglasses. This is another thing I picked up in Paris. It was raining a lot, it was freaking cold, much colder than I expected. And yeah, this is just one of those like €5 side of the street umbrellas. And then I have a old issue of the New Yorker. And that's it. Now this bag is totally empty. It is so light. It's practically weightless. So you can, I'm gonna try to do my little folding here so that it's back into the kind of foldable, easy to use travel shape. There we go. So that's what it compresses down to. So you can see this is like perfect to just throw into any suitcase so that you have a handy extra bag should you need it on a trip. And I'm, again, for this price, $85 after all the rebates, etc., like this is a great buy. So if you are traveling to Europe, I highly encourage this particular purchase, or any of the little Longchamp Pliage bags. I mean, they are all much cheaper buying it in France than they are buying it in the US, and they are, I mean, they're like popular for a reason. They are like practically indestructible and affordable and just, you know, convenient in that they just fold up so nicely. So that's that. That's the bag. Oh, I do want to mention just downside. So this version is just, you know, hand held like this. You can obviously slip it on over your forearm here, but it can get really heavy, and there's no shoulder strap with this particular model. They have another model that I considered getting. I almost regret not getting it, and it's the expandable version that does have the detachable shoulder strap. So that is something you should consider. I kind of almost regret not getting that version instead of getting this, but I'm still pretty happy with this. And honestly, if you don't put a ton of heavy electronics and everything that I had in here, you'll be fine. It's the bag itself is super lightweight, so it just depends on what you're going to be carrying in here. Great buy. I'm very happy with it. And that is all I wanted to share with you in this video. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you will stick with me, even though my uploads will be, as I mentioned, rather sporadic. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Okay guys, bye. Oh, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, of course. Okay? Bye guys.